Hi, Tracy. All right, we have your spread. And so keep in mind, just to make connections for whatever I say here, how it might connect to your life today. All right, so first we're going to find out when in time we're looking. And then we're going to go to where we are, what you did for the majority of your time, like an occupation, the first important day, the second important day, a death, and the lessons of this life. All right, so let's start. First, we want to see where in time we are. And I don't know if you can see right here, but we're going somewhere in Africa. So here we go. So I'm saying, where are we looking? Where in time are we putting Tracy in this past life? Where are we going? We're just going to wait to see where we go. It can take a minute. Look at that. Look at that. Wow. All right, it feels really consistent there. All right, wow. Okay, so back here, when it swings like that, what that implies is that we're not looking anywhere modern. We're looking long time ago. We're looking the equivalent of the Middle Ages, but we're in Africa. So this is before anyone comes over, any colonization for where we're looking at here. I mean, I'm getting that. I'm getting before colonization. And when I look at this card here, I'm feeling very hearty community. I'm feeling just like in Africa, wherever you are, it's like, I mean, the only word I have for it is like tribal, but it's a community of people, and the community at this time is thriving. So just keep that in mind. So you're part of this community and it is thriving. It's not how we hear about certain African communities today where it's kind of not doing too well. This one is thriving, at least at this time. All right. And so we get here and we come to the card labeled science, but really it's technology. And I know we like to think of technology as, computers and wires and electricity. But for this, what it is you helped your community where you lived, you helped them implement something that helped with the functionality and smoothness of the day-to-day life. And I'm just asking, I'm like, hey, what could it be? Can you show me more? And so what I'm doing is what I'm seeing is like a cut pathway in tall grass. So it's a dirt pathway cut through tall grass leading to like a large pond. And I'm just asking for some details what this means. And it has something to do with finding water or finding resources. So you helped with the finding of, or the gathering of, or the process of retrieving resources precious to your community. And that is what you did in your community, mainly for your community. So you're valued. You're very valued here. And you work with others valued for the same skill, but not everyone has these skills. Not everyone had such value. But you were valued, part of a group you were valued in a group that was valued. if that makes sense. So there's that. All right, let's move to the first day. So here, the first day. Now this card, I love this card because of the intent that I made this card with. It's a wowzer. It's a spectacular, interesting day. And again, these cards aren't always face value, but this day shifted your entire world. It gave you a whole, fresh perspective on something. So busy at your work, because you're so busy at your work all the time, and you do so well, and I'm saying right here, it's all linked together. This is the karmic relationship card. This is someone who is in your life even most likely today. You travel together in soul groups through time and space. You are together. Maybe not every life, but most likely this life. There's a friend you have, maybe a sister, or maybe a friend that's like a sister, and you travel together, and so they may pop up in this life today. And why I say that is because this is being shown to you for a reason. And so I'm just being really drawn to say that. Drawn to say that this person was very special. And this card, the feeling associated is love. And again, the cards aren't at face value, but this one today here in this reading is. There is great love that you connected with on this day, and that shifted your entire universe as you knew it. It could have been romantic love. It could have been a parent-child love, an innocent love. This love is unlike a love you've experienced before, even from your parents in this life. This love made someone who wasn't blood related even more so connected to you like family than blood would allow, if that makes sense. So when I say make connections in your current life, anything I say, try to see where it fits. And so I leave that to you. And so let's move to the second day. The second important day shows us, this is the war card, okay? This is the war card. So it's linked with a friend. Okay, so I'm not a historical expert here, but basically I'm getting that there was another community that is so much more aggressive than your community, even though your community is tough. Your community has the resources. The community that is aggressive comes to claim your resources for their own, not asking for it, coming to get it, coming to take it. And so they are thwarted. You are part of helping thwart the bad guy, essentially. And you do this with the help of your group. Your group. There are people in your group very close with these people. You do something. You create something, or you come up with a plan, a strategy, and it, from the feeling I'm getting, is it does a beautiful job. There are hardly any casualties, if any at all, but you are able to thwart them somehow. What is it? There's a confusion, like you confuse them. It's almost like you and this group come up with a plan to confuse the enemy, and you are confident in this, and rightfully so, because it works. In my head, it's almost like, okay, it's almost like you put an invisibility cloak over your community. I don't know how else to say that, but that's the feeling I'm getting. Like you found a way to make the valuable things hidden from them, or confuse them to think that maybe they were wrong of what they thought. Like almost like you showed them that what they believed they were coming to get didn't even exist in the first place, even though it did, because you created it. You helped create it. And so you thwarted these people, and you helped, in return, you helped, that saved your people. You saved your community in that sense from possibly very aggressive attacks or massacre, whatever that might be. So see, the war card doesn't mean that there is a war per se, but that there's maybe something brewing or something like an aggressive assault. It can mean a lot of things, but that's what it means on this day. So you do good. You did good here. It's really awesome. Wonderful. And again, make the connections where you can. Like, maybe there might be something going on. I'm thinking there might be something going on with you in your life today where you're trying to find a way out or a way around or a way to hold off something, and you can. You have the answers. You can do this, but don't neglect help from others, even if you don't fully trust them, because let's just say it takes a certain level or time usually for you to trust people to a certain degree. And in this case, if there is something that you need to get done or something that needs to be strategized or something that needs to be figured out, don't push away ideas of others thinking like, I've got this, I can handle this. Don't bother yourself. Don't waste your time. No, don't do that. Listen to them. People are coming to you. If people are coming to you with ideas to help you, they want to. So let them. Because if you keep people at any distance, if this is the case, if you're keeping people at a distance, you're also taking away their opportunity to live their purpose. Because when people offer you help, it's part of their purpose to be offering that help to you. So don't be, what's the word? Not egotistical, but don't take on everything. If this makes sense at all, don't feel like you have to take on everything alone. Take help when it's offered, where it's needed. And if you just do that, and you don't, it won't be excessive, so you won't feel guilty for taking the help. It's not going to be excessive, just be open to it. That's all I want to say about this, is just be open to any help that comes your way for something that you need to achieve or get around or figure out. Alright, so that's interesting. Okay. And then in this life, I'm not getting a male or female. I'm getting like a mixed vibe, which could mean that you might be male with female tendencies or feminine energy, or you may be a female, vice versa, with masculine energy, because I'm getting a mixed bag. But it was accepted. However people were here, it was accepted. It's different than it is here today. It's different than how we think of it, how we like to just label female, male. I'm getting that here, whoever you were in your community is who was accepted, as long as you were kind and as long as you contributed. As long as you contributed to the community, did your part, pulled your weight, which you did. You did very much so. All right. And then your death here is the sickness, illness, disease card. And what pops up right away for me is clearly disease. It's clearly a disease, almost like an animal disease that through the food and digestion takes your stomach like a worm. So it's almost like you ate something, there's something going around that actually took a lot of people at the same time. Lots of very, very, ill people. And I want to say disease because it's like a bacteria that overtook your insides, and that there was no medication for at that time. There was no way you were going to come out of that one, but you were cared for as you went down. this really kind of, I feel like this messed up your insides. And so keep in mind the connections from this life to yours. When I do past life regression therapy, a lot of the physical problems of my clients can be directly related, are a lot of the times directly related to their past life, which is incredibly interesting. And so what I get the feeling of is like stomach. So if this is stomach or digestion, or even like it could even be up through the mouth, throat area, because your body here it could recognize like a cellular memory of what happened here. And so if you died here based on something bad that you ate, you may in this life, if you're experiencing, digestion problems or food allergies or meat, dairy sensitivities, stomach issues, bowel issues, anything like that has to do with that tract in your body, just keep that in mind. It may not be the case, but if it is, then it could very well come from this past life, and you can actually get rid of that with past life regression therapy if you're open-minded enough. So I would say look into that if that's the case. All right, and so the lesson of this life is very, very interesting, and it's the boundaries card. So the boundaries card is going to link in to this how. I love this card because it can mean so many things. So I'm asking, how do boundaries link in giving and giving and giving? And what it is you had no boundaries when it came to not only giving to others, but not closing off yourself, your gifts, not doubting yourself. That's how you achieved so much here. That's how you got people, how you kept your community safe and thwarted the enemy. You didn't put boundaries on your own intellect, on your own courage, strength, drive, bravery. You didn't close yourself in any way, and that gave you freedom. And that's what allowed for this very bright and brave and just helpful, useful life that you gave to your community. So you didn't put boundaries on yourself, and you didn't have boundaries for others. You just did for others. You did a lot for others. And you learned this lesson. This lesson was learned. And that's really nice. So, there you have it. That's your past life. When I'm looking at this card though real quick, I'm feeling like it's a what do you call it? East. There you go. It's East Coast Africa. So somewhere on the East Coast, maybe not exactly on the coast like on the water, but on the eastern side of Africa. If that speaks to you in any way, it certainly does for me. So I guess that's it. All right. Well, that was really interesting. I hope you found that interesting. And thanks for letting me read you. Have a good one.